What's going on, guys? It's Complete Tech Crew. Today we're going to be taking a quick walkthrough of the low voltage and electrical section of my local Home Depot. I've been noticing a lot of changes in terms of inventory with Klein Tools declining and the inventory increasing substantially with Milwaukee, specifically pertaining to their low voltage and electrical tools. That new House Electric ferrule crimping tool kit is a really good kit. It's a nice kit if you can't order one online from like Amazon and wait for it. If you need one in a pinch, that's the kit to get. Got a punch down tool at $80 from Milwaukee. You can get those a lot cheaper from your local supply house if you build a good relationship for them. That shear kit right there for $60 is a pretty good kit. I've had trouble with those snips or scissors or electrician scissors, whatever you guys want to call them. I always kind of stick with the Klein brand. Those have been tried and true, and those have been pretty good to me. I zoomed in on these Klein Tools coaxial connectors because they are phenomenal, specifically if you're in a pinch and you can't order the less expensive ones from the supply house, whether it be Belden or PPC, which is roughly the same thing. So look to those guys. They're really expensive. They're almost $1 a connector or a little more after tax, but they're well worth it because they fit over plenum cabling really well. Again, on that shear kit as well. Some crimpers there. A lot of crimpers, testers, and toners from Klein. I felt the need to highlight how they moved these glow rods from the section of their own end cap to like a small little corner. They're really good. The low, mid, and high flex sets are really good. In the fiberglass, they don't splinter like they used to. So Klein, great job to you on that. I tip my hat to you on that for improving the design of these because they last much longer and they're much easier to use. So great job on that. I went ahead and grabbed all three of these kits because I know I won't see them again, specifically at the Home Depots in and around my area. I just haven't been seeing them. So I saw them at this one. I observed it and I grabbed them all because they're just not stocking them anymore. And here's the reason why. If you look to the right of the screen, you'll see that they're fully in stock with the newest iteration or versions of the Milwaukee sets, their glow rod sets. And they have low, mid, and high flex as well. Looking at the Milwaukee pull string right there, I grabbed a couple buckets just to give it a shot. And I would say it's comparable to the Klein or IV'E brands, which are my favorite brands to use. I like it because the tensile strength is pretty good on them and they don't bind up or mar or separate like a lot of the cheaper in-house brands that we would get from supply houses if we went that route. Looking at those fish tapes there, really good fish tapes. Like I mentioned in other videos, previous videos, that I've had some trouble with the 240-foot steel fish tape, the way it winds back up. So of course I purchased some other ones from my local supply house and I'm hoping to have better and be more fortunate with those in the future, but only time will tell. Looking at the glow rods or fish sticks, whatever you guys like to call them. I also acknowledged that they had some pool lube up in that right corner. I didn't purchase that because I didn't have a need for it. I'm using something called Super Slick from Gardner Bender. That's a really good product. So I stand behind that product. So I really don't use any of the other kind at the moment. But if I'm in a pinch, I'll give that the Milwaukee brand a try and see if it's any different. But I'm sure it won't be much different, but it may be. So I'll give it a try. If you guys have used it before and it served you well, leave it down in the comments below. Again, looking at the glow rod fish sticks and some of the accessories, got a flexible leader tip right there to add to your fish tape when you need to. I love the polyester fish tapes, but again, once you get into a couple of 90 degrees and more excessive bending through the conduit, it gets more difficult to push. Looking at some of the voltmeters from Klein and Milwaukee, I expect to see many more offerings from Milwaukee, especially finding out recently that they're coming out with some electrical outlet testers or receptacle testers and some non-contact voltage testers. So we'll be looking forward to those, and I'm quite sure, I'm almost positive that they'll be stocking those in Home Depots, and more of the Klein tools or the Klein counterparts will continue to phase out because that's what I'm noticing here. Their section is getting smaller and smaller. I thought that this was a good deal and worthwhile. It was only 2 of them in stock, so I went ahead and grabbed both of them. This was a promotion, I believe that was on Black Friday or something a long time ago. I think we see these promotions like twice a year where this kit will be like $19. So I went ahead and purchased both of these just to have more and excess amount on hand. You can never have enough of that kind of stuff. It's good to have those and keep them all around on multiple work vehicles or what have you. Excuse me. So those Klein, and not to say anything about Klein, because those Klein testers and voltmeters and all of those essential items are really good. The point of this video is just to reiterate the fact that I do believe that a lot of the Klein stuff is going to continue to be phased out in preference of Milwaukee. once more their made in the USA offerings continue to come out, I do believe that a lot of those good classic tried and true Klein tools are going to start to phase out, particularly because Klein Tools has taken over Lowe's and kind of pushed Ideal out. And that's just how it goes. That was a great opportunity for everybody to get that good Ideal solid brand tools, those tools for a great deal, much less than half off. That's what you were getting, particularly at the end of it. And I have a video on that from my local Lowe's in my area, how they still kind of had some of that stuff on the shelf, and it was kind of the last week of them phasing it out. So I was able to take advantage of that and purchase a lot of stuff. Sorry about that off-tangent ramble. There we have a couple Milwaukee levels. Looks like an SAE nut driver from Milwaukee, very similar to that of what Klein has offered in the past or what Klein continues to put out now. Just continue to enhance and improve their products. So good job on that, Klein. I haven't utilized this one yet. I did grab a couple of these sets. The Milwaukee guy was there and he helped me out with some promotional pricing and stuff like that while he was there. So that was great. Looks like they don't have on the shelf those Milwaukee dikes or cutters, whatever you want to call them. Great tool right here. I own most of the product offerings from Klein, especially their screwdriver style items. Really good products. They've definitely done very well with the design and implementation of those. Some screwdriver sets you have from Klein with their magnetic tip. Those are all really good and they can take a beating. I did buy a couple sets a couple years ago that I wasn't a fan of, and I think it was just a bad batch, a bad design. A lot of the metal was shearing off, so you had to be careful when you were using it, especially at the front end of the driver, because it was just kind of shaving off. These sets are really cool. I went ahead and purchased a couple of those as well. I like the design of those. Those are designed really well. There goes some ratcheting wire strippers right there. Pretty cool. Some MC shears or cutters, whatever you want to call them. Got some snips there. Got a couple knives, drywall saw, some pretty good stuff. Channel locks, what we call them. Like some crimpers there, some cable cutters there. Strippers, insulated strippers. Insulated long nose pliers, snips, whatever you want to call them. And it looks like some insulated linemen, excuse me. And again, there goes the made in USA's. They didn't have a lot of those in stock. And when I do see them in stock, it's only like 2 or 3 of them there. I'm not sure if they're flying off the shelf selling well or they just don't have enough inventory. And I know those offerings are continuing to expand from Milwaukee as soon as they start to deploy and ship them out. Pretty good stuff there. There goes some new style tools there at the bottom. I've used and owned a couple of those. You saw me put my hand down on those, that one in the middle that I used, because the barrel broke on both of mine. I have no idea why. It's just a stress point that's really weak. That plastic is terrible. That's why I put my hand down on those, because it was, or my thumb down, excuse me. I didn't understand why, and it wasn't a tool that I was beating up on. I only take and hammer the tools that are designed for it, like a demolition driver or something like that. They could take a beating. Got some insulated offerings to the right and below there as well. Then we have that hex key set. I went ahead and grabbed that. Great set. I know that the similar one from Klein, or the similar offering from Klein, excuse me, is very good, the metric and SAE. So I own quite a few sets of those. I love to have them around, everywhere around. I have a multitude of them, excuse me. Checking out this electrician's magnetic tape measure. Not certain if it's built any different. I know that it just has different color tabs. If you can see, it has that kind of light color gray there. Then looking below at a couple of these hole saw offerings for cutting in like pot lights or speakers, anything similar to that. Those would be great options for that. I have a Dust Bowl hole cutter. They're off brand, but you can get them from your local supply house. Sometimes the branding will be like Racketeers, and sometimes it'll be another brand. And here goes another prime example of what I was saying earlier about a lot of the Klein tools being phased out, because this would typically be below that $100 insulated set from Klein. And you guys know what I'm talking about if you shop Home Depot a lot for your electrician tools. So a lot of that stuff is being phased out. I didn't even catch it on clearance. I didn't see it on clearance. I don't know where it's going, if it's being sent back or if they liquidated and I just wasn't fortunate enough to be there when they cleared it out, because typically below there it's that $100 set from Klein. And we got some new offerings with our barrel hanger bits or flex bits, whatever you guys want to call them. Good stuff from Milwaukee. I've used a couple of these several times in a multitude of sizes. They're very durable. They flex well, and they're easy to use, just like that of Klein or Greenlee. So no complaints there. I just have acknowledged that there is absolutely nothing from Klein where it used to be full. This shelf or end cap section used to be full of Klein offerings. So that's it, guys. I think I stressed my point on that. And make sure you guys are out there actively searching for these deals from Klein, just in case they're reducing the prices and putting them on clearance. Peace.